So Mega Evolution enhanced booster box prices continue to fall as we get the second wave of booster boxes. And now we are at an all-time low of $270. Just recently, it was at $280 and now it's dropped even more to $270. So in this video, I want to talk about this price, what I think about it, and just overall look at Mega Evolution. Is it now potentially a good investment since just recently it ran up to 340? Obviously, this was a bit of a buyout here, but now you can get it for about $70 cheaper at $270. So, Mega Evolution. Honestly, I sort of saw this coming. I mean, prices were already dropping before the second wave. So, I mean, you imagine, okay, we're getting 40% more supply when prices are already naturally dropping. It's probably to continue to drop, and it has. I don't know where the bottom is. Honestly, it's going to be very hard to predict for the set, but you can maybe say somewhere around this range where it's at now, maybe close, maybe even to 250, possibly. But you know, if you look at all Scarlet and Violet booster boxes, the cheapest is Scarlet and Violet base at 240. So you have to think to yourself, Mega Evolution being a very expensive set is going to get to that level, maybe depending on how much supply gets dumped in the next week or so here, as more stores get their product. But it's already dropping quite a bit at 270. So we are probably somewhere near the bottom. I can't see it going much further than 250, to be honest. That's just my opinion. And I think if you look at just, the data, it kind of speaks that, right? But yeah, it's been dropping, and it's dropped a little bit more since a few days ago where it was at 280, now it's at 270. So this may possibly be a good time to invest into these booster boxes potentially, and that's what we're going to be looking at in this video. But you can see there's obviously been an increase of sales as prices have dropped, as you can see comparatively to the past few weeks here when booster boxes were still north of 300. Sales volume has definitely increased since then, and you can readily buy these now for 270. It's pretty easy to buy them at 270, so has dropped quite a bit, so maybe a good time to invest into this booster box, and we're going to go through the data to see what's going on with the rest of the set here. If you go on eBay, it is worth noting that there is no booster box actually for $270. If you look at cheapest listings, they're all about 288, 310 still, 300. You can see they're all still pretty expensive. They're not really dropping to market price. They're actually above market price on eBay. So TCG Player is actually your best bet to buy, and you are buying from reputable sellers. So if you're looking to invest into Mega Evolution enhanced booster boxes, it looks like TCG Player is going to be your best bet, and you're not buying from small sellers. These are all stores. So there's that information if you want to invest. Now, if you want to get a case, you can buy cases for about $16.50 from reputable sellers. Once again, if you actually do the math on that, $16.55 divided by 6 booster boxes, you're only paying about a $5 premium on each booster box. So, hey, buying a case, $5 premium, that's like, I don't even know what percentage that is. That's barely anything. Hey, if you want to buy a case, may not be the worst time to pick them up. Now, what has happened since the recent decline in price of these booster boxes? What's happened to the actual cards in the set? Well, the cards, obviously you're going to see some effect initially from people wanting to sell in anticipation of prices dropping because more supply is going to enter the market for cards. Pretty obvious, right? But we still haven't seen it all yet. The next few weeks, we'll see how this added supply really affects singles prices. But there are seemingly maybe some signs already that some people are maybe starting to sell some stuff off and take profits before that hits, because when more people open, card prices most likely will drop, and we are seeing some cards go down a little bit, but honestly hasn't been much. Total set value is about $4,000. Recently, I think it was at $4,200, $4,300. So a $200 drop is really nothing. That could just be some cards going up and down $20, $30, and cumulatively adding that up. So not much of a drop. But only one card that I've seen has really dropped that notably, to be honest. Mega Gardevoir, pretty much the exact same price as it was previously. As you can see, nothing really has changed. The only card is pretty much Lucario here. This card has dropped all the way. The market price is in the low fives, but it's more towards 600. You can see lowest listed. There's multiple at 600. So it has dropped from where it peaked at 700. So it has dropped $100. I mean, still, if you do the math, it's what, maybe like 15%. Still not that much, but it has dropped. The Mega Gardevoir, this one has stayed the exact same price. Lucario, exact same price. Venusaur has dropped a little bit from like 230 down to 200. So there's that. Lily's Determination really has not dropped. And those are just, the top 6 cards I just picked from the set to show you guys what's been happening. Really, the cards have not really dropped much at all. So that is worth noting, but expect prices are subject to drop and probably will drop a little bit more as we get more supply, because, I don't think all stores are getting their supply right now. I don't think they all get them at the same time. Some may be still waiting on it. So prices for cards may, still change and go down maybe in a week or so as, people get their supply and more people sell their singles in anticipation with more supply coming, or people just opening up the set more and more supply just hitting the market for the cards. Prices will probably go down for singles. But looking at how, strong the set still is, I mean, like I said, we're going to have to wait to see what actually happens to the prices in the following couple weeks here. But you look at this set being 4,000. Like I said, it's probably going to change a little bit in the next week or so. But a set this expensive, you look at, and you can now buy a booster box for $270. That's very attractive. And I'm going to make a comparison to Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals, you look at Destined Rivals where it was previously, it was at one point $245. Now, the enhanced booster box is another $25. Not a big deal, or not a huge difference, but it's a little bit more. But Destined Rivals at this point, the total set value was not at $4,000. If we actually check and we go to see how expensive Destined Rivals really was or is now, it's, the card prices have also gone up. It's at $2,500. Well, Mega Evolution's at about $4,000. It's $1,500 more of total set value in Mega Evolution, and we're talking about Mega Evolution, at $270 comparatively to Destined Rivals when it was at $245, and the set value at this time was about $2,000. So it's about double the set value of Destined Rivals when it was basically the same price, basically. So this is probably, seemingly then, if you do the comparison, obviously they have different things to the sets. Mega Evolution is megas, and it doesn't have the Team Rocket aspect. That's definitely something to consider, right? Because Destined Rivals, a big reason why it's expensive is because it has Team Rocket, right? But considering set value, which is very, very important in very modern and very new sets, to be able to buy a booster box that was basically nearly the same price as Destined Rivals, was, and the set value here was $2,000, and Mega Evolution is $4,000. Going back here, Mega Evolution is like about $4,000, has very 2 hard chase cards. For me, I'm still just holding off on buying them, because for me, it's just, okay, I'm invest in other things other than Mega Evolution. This is one of the things I told you guys I was going to skip myself, even though I think it's a good set, right? But I've just invested in other things. If you want to invest in Mega Evolution, you were waiting. I believe now, even at $270, because they may drop another $10, $20, it's possible, but starting to maybe dollar cost average, buy some now, I think is a good and smart decision. Because like I said, I don't see prices dropping much more than this. They may drop, like I said, $10, $20 more dollars. I don't see these going to low 200s. I just don't, because the set is too expensive. So the prices of the cards would have to absolutely drop like crazy for that to happen. And with the 2 gold cards, I doubt that's really going to happen. So I believe now more than ever, Mega Evolution is a pretty good investment. I mean, looking where Destined Rivals is right now, at near 400. Obviously, it's recently gone down because the restock in Pokemon Center. But considering this is at 400, obviously, like I said, the Team Rocket aspect is a huge difference between Mega Evolution and Destined Rivals. But just considering that this was basically as cheap as Destined Rivals was at release, and the set value is about double Destined Rivals what it was, I mean, it's a pretty good buy right now. But obviously, you can still argue more supply will come in the future, and more reprints will come. You can argue that. But as it currently sits, comparing the set value and comparing the price of the booster box, it's pretty good right now. So If you're planning on investing, I think now is a decent time to buy some up. Cases there's like no premium. That's a potential buy right there. And you know what? If you were waiting out, now's your chance to buy. And I think these prices are near their lows. I don't know exactly where the low is, so hey, if you have to pay $20 more per booster box, don't blame me, right? I'm telling you it's possibly drop more, but for 270, dropping $70 from where it was about 3 weeks ago, that's pretty good. And you can wait maybe a little bit more, right? Because in the next week more stores are gonna get their supply, so maybe wait a little bit more. You can, but you play that game. Maybe this is the lowest, so that's where I say maybe it's a good time to start dollar cost averaging what you want to have, because prices have dropped quite a bit, and it's pretty cheap in my opinion comparing what this actually has. So that's all I want to talk about in this video. Let me know if you guys are picking any Mega Evolution up because of this price drop. Let me know what you guys are doing. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.